The River Avon flows through Bristol. It rises here, near Shurston, in Gloucestershire, just 17 miles from its mouth, as the crow flies. But the young river follows a 75-mile curved course to reach the sea. Bristol, the city that sent out Cabot to discover the New World, is one of the unlikeliest great ports. Its seaward entrance is the Avon Gorge, a valuable botanical site and a rock climbing resource with finger-clinging holds on forbiddingly steep limestone. It's been an intense transportation hub in the past. By the early 18th century, an increasing volume of traffic and the growth in the size of ships put Bristol at a disadvantage. Each new arrival had to stop here at Pill to collect its tow, at £9 a time for a 100-ton vessel. And the gorge could provide plenty of its own stone. Quarrying began in the early 13th century with full-scale production in the 1800s. The Great Quarry was worked harshly for 50 years. And further downstream, Blackrock Quarry, the sea walls, was eventually closed because it was reckoned to be a hazard to downs walkers on the plateau above. There's an exciting leisure use created by those quarrymen. In the 1950s, some students at the university pioneered bold, extreme climbs on almost vertical limestone quarry faces. It was a hermit's cell in the Middle Ages and home to a gang of robbers in 1804. At that time, it could only be reached by a dangerous ledge across the cliff face. The gang were captured in the end, frying bacon and eggs when caught. They'd sent their women off along the ledge to fetch beer. Brunel's iconic landmark, the Clifton Suspension Bridge. With it, he linked the banks of the gorge, enabling Clifton to be extended and creating the leafy suburb of Lee Woods. The bridge has a disquieting history of suicide, matching that of Beachy Head. Residents didn't want horse-drawn trams lowering the tone of these prosperous highlands, so they went for a grand solution, a rocks railway. And the aristocracy used to enjoy carriage rides up to the Downs and boat trips across the river to Ashton for strawberry teas. Richard, you've been monitoring plants here since the year 2000. Do your studies show how annual differences in the weather influence when plants come into flower?
Oh yes.
On the Downs parkland above the gorge, this trace of a Roman road aligns Bath with a Roman port on the Avon, Portus Aboni. The fall of the Roman Empire and attacks by pirates put an end to the Roman port at Sea Mills. Then, in 850 AD, Saxons built a trading settlement upstream from the gorge's towering cliffs at the confluence of two rivers. The settlement was just here, on a narrow spit of land where the rivers Avon and Froom originally met, close by the present Bristol Bridge. The Avon Gorge created Bristol and protected it. The city grew over the centuries and spilled out over its medieval walls. Suburbs spread in every direction, except the northwest. The Avon Gorge is a permanent physical boundary, a spectacular natural landmark, and a priceless asset for Bristol.